Good morning, my friends. It's Laura Ward. We are in the SoMATic mat. And today I am actually going to put the emphasis on flexibility. So we will make sure to warm up really well, but we will also be stretching our muscles and fascia and tissues and working for flexibility in multiple different ways. So there you go. Okay, so it's going to be a little easier today than the normal mat and focusing a little bit more on releasing, letting go, and stretching. So we're going to start standing up, reaching out and up, feeling into the space around you. And then on the exhale, soften and let your arms drop all the way down. And let's just take a bounce at the bottom so everything can settle down a little bit. And then again, inhale, stretch out and up, lift and open. And exhale. So even stretching your arms up, this is interesting because I'm going to talk a little bit more about flexibility. And just this is something that if we don't do it, it becomes harder to do. So we want to make sure that we're still, and I'm also arching, looking up, lifting my chest to the ceiling and looking up. I'm not taking my arms back here. This is kind of a safer place for my back as a starting point. One more time, inhale. Lift and open, and then exhale, come down, shake, let your body settle down. So it's like you're settling down into the floor, letting your energy settle down through your feet into the floor. Then I'm going to interlace my hands up on top of my head, push through the heels of my hands, side, little stretch. Doesn't have to be your biggest stretch for right now. Just side. Hey, Catherine. And breathing into that, yeah. And then we're going to do a cat-cow, standing cat-cow. We're going to internally rotate and spiral, and then externally rotate, open up, stick it out. Internally rotate, hollowing and scooping into my abdominals. Externally rotate, open and arch. Exhale, hollow and curl. Inhale, open your chest and lungs, open your heart. Exhale, hollow and curl. Inhale, open. Exhale, hollow. Inhale, open. Exhale, in. Inhale, open. And then release that. Circles with your shoulders. Easy circles, mobilizing your scapula, mobilizing your rib cage, lungs, and heart, even mobilizing your diaphragm as you're breathing and moving. And then change direction, up and over. Hydrating the tissue in your body to make it easier to move. So that's one thing, like, if we were talking about flexibility in the 70s, we'd be talking in a certain way. But now talking about flexibility, like, there's so many parts to it. Like, if our bodies are kind of dry, we're not hydrated well, and movement hydrates tissue and water hydrates tissue, then it's going to be harder to move. So that's an important thing. I was just telling everybody about one of my cats stealing some plant piece out of the garbage upstairs. And now I find it, one of them's here. He's been charging around, this one, being a troublemaker. All right, let's take it a little deeper into those side stretches. So I'm going to push up through the heels of my hands, just taking it a little deeper, stretching like with my arms and legs straight. Then I'm going to soften and bend my knees a little bit. And then I'm going to stretch and reach a little bit more. So I'm softening the stretch, and then I'm reaching out, softening and reaching, and then switching up and over to the other side. Going to the side stretch, softening a little bit, and then really reaching out, softening and reaching, and one more softening. And then coming back into center. I'm going to keep my fingers together. I'm squeezing them together. So that's holding them together. And I'm going to circle my arms up over my head. As I'm circling my arms up over my head, I'm going to breathe deep, inhaling through my nose, exhaling through my mouth. And I'm letting that breath go down into my belly, change direction. So thinking of breathing all the way down into your belly, not just up here in the upper lungs. Most of the alveoli that take the oxygen into your blood are in the lower part of your lungs. So we want to make sure we're always breathing down into our body, not just up here. Also, anxiety breath is going to be higher. Deeper breath, going to drop us down into our groundedness. All right, circles with your pelvis, circling around. So we're mobilizing the hip socket, ball and socket joint in here, femur head coming up into our pelvis, and then change direction. We are also deep inside our body, mobilizing our psoas. So I have a little pet peeve about people talking about their psoas right here as their hip flexors. Your psoas is not there in the front of your body. Your psoas is deep inside. It's coming in. This is your lesser trochanter, the inner head of your femur. It is coming in there. It is going up. There's the iliac psoas. So there's the part that's wrapping around the inside of your iliac, which is these big bones inside there. And then it's coming up the inside of your body next to your spine. So it's not the hip flexors. It is a hip flexor. It helps lift your leg a little bit, but it's not this in front. I don't know. I just have this real pet peeve about it. So many people talk about it and they're like, you should really know your anatomy, get to know your psoas. And I'm like, that's not your psoas. It's deep inside. It is the filet mignon of your body. Shake everything out for a second. And then circle your knees. As you're circling your knees, the knees are a hinge. They aren't doing the circle. The circle is happening in your feet and also in that hip socket joint. We are also freeing up our spine and our psoas deep inside. Change direction. And we want to have a juicy, hydrated psoas. How does it get juicy and hydrated? Through movement. So I've studied a lot of psoas with Liz Koch. Some people, even her, calls herself Liz Cook. And once I asked her, do you say Liz Koch, Liz Koch, Liz Cook? And she's like, I say Liz Cook, but say it however you want to say it. So somehow I always say it the way I say it. Interesting how we are with names. Let's come down to the floor. I know. But I've studied a lot of psoas, and she talks about to have a juicy psoas, we want that movement, that hydration. And if we're like in hyperarousal, fight, flight, like that is going to be contracting a little bit. We want to come into really parasympathetic sometimes to let that soften and juice up. So also she says there is no need to, like, we shouldn't palpate it. We shouldn't release it through massage because it's such a soft, squishy organ. Like, we don't need anyone jamming their hands into it. My personal opinion on that is for some people, they do need that. Like, some people don't really feel anything unless it's super intense. We have become so sort of base in our capacity to feel our own bodies. Not everybody, but a lot of people, side side. So the more subtle we can feel things, the more we can go in and go, what's going on? Inhale, open just through sensation in our own body, through our own interoception. Inhale, open, side stretch, and inhale. Yeah, so we want like a juicy, fluid psoas that's not in hyperarousal. Taking it to the side, circling forward, all the way around, and inhale, open up. So for me, this particular movement really helps release my lower back. As I'm moving through, I'm getting the stretch, particularly through here. This is an important stretch for me. Down here, important stretch for me. Over here, important. And I will show you where I feel it for my own body. So when I'm here, here, and then in here, coming through here, this is for me. Your body may be different. I try to get, so I'm not there, but I'm really turned toward it, bringing my opposite shoulder to that knee, and then side stretch, lifting it up. And let's just change legs. So whichever leg was in front, change it to your non-dominant. And let's do the same thing. So sideways, taking the shoulder towards the knee, bringing it forward, other shoulder towards the knee, sideways, and open it up. Side stretch, shoulder towards the knee, coming into center, other shoulder towards the knee, side stretch, inhale. So what is happening inside? All my organs are moving around. I don't want to contract it all in. I want to give them space. Yeah, one more time. Sideways, shoulder towards my knee, taking it into center, other shoulder towards my knee, side stretch, Inhale, open, going back. Wow, it's really cold outside here, and I can feel such a major temperature difference between the space here where my hand is and the space down here. Like, it's like, wow, I bet there's like quite a few degrees of difference in that. All right, we're gonna do a little bit more spine stuff. So here's one more thought about the flexibility and the mobility of our spine. It's not just our spine that we need to think about, it's everything around our spine. So it's our psoas, it's the little intervertebral muscles, it's the erector spinae, it's our organs, it's everything together. Like, we can't pull out our spine and go, oh, look how flexible this is. We could, it could have all this mobility, and then we put it in our body. And the way that our fascia and our muscle fibers and our personal holding patterns are containing it, it's not going to have the same mobility. So we want to think of that freedom as being this whole core participatory situation. All right, so we're going to do this. You could sit up on a block for this. And you know what? It would be better sitting on a block. So if you have one easily accessible, do it. I actually do it. I'm just going to keep it on my butt. Internally rotate, rounding the spine. Externally rotate, lift and open. Actually, it's not necessarily better. It depends on your flexibility. Internally rotate, externally rotate. I am flexing my feet. Hollow and curl, internal rotation. So we could talk about this kind of movement as being really tissue prep for our fascia, which means we're hydrating it. We're mobilizing it in multiple different dimensions, or sort of, we could say, if we were talking fitness, we'd say planes of movement. If we're talking fascia, we could say the fascial trains, depending on whose system. So like, some systems are much more mechanical and some systems are much more organic. And I kind of work with both sides of those. All right, let's take it down to the floor and continue with that. So same thing, as I'm gonna just drop my knees from side to side, allowing this to massage out my butt. So this, my version of this knee drop is really designed to massage out your butt. Let the two legs relax through center and then close. So it's easy as possible. You're not putting tension in your body to move. You're moving as easily as you can. Tension masks sensation, right? When we're holding a lot of stuff, it's one great way of not feeling anything. So we can't really get into the subtlety of what's going on in our bodies or in our emotions or anything if we're in this like tense state. So we want to let this movement massage out the tissue, soften the inner body. And again, we're moving like, okay, my psoas is getting this nice, easy movement because I'm not trying to squeeze anything too hard. And then let's come into center and we're going to go up and down. So now we are going to warm up the back of the body a little bit more. So I am going to roll up and down for a few, just rolling up and then rolling down through the spine. This doesn't have to be your most sort of vertebra by vertebra version yet. We're just slowly warming up. So let it be something that feels good for you right now. And we're actually going to talk about the 3 different ways that you could roll up and down through your spine. And you know what, there are more, but 3 different ways that actually all make sense. So one way is we kind of scoop in, pubic bone lifts, roll it up through our spine all the way up to the top. And then we roll down from the top to the bottom, softening in. That's one way. Let's do that a couple more times. Vertebra by vertebra, peeling up off the floor, going up as high as you can. When you hit the top, sink in the chest. Helps if you exhale. Softening down through your spine. Rolling up, vertebra by vertebra. Don't think I need to use my abs to do this. When I soften my lungs, and my abs are going to engage slightly, but I'm not doing it consciously. I'm allowing it to happen. All right. Now we're going to do it differently. This time we're just going to press and unfold in the hips, and the whole body comes up, and we're going to fold in the hips and bring the whole body down. So now I'm not really working on that spinal mobility so much as just basically warming up my hamstrings and back, which to me, this is actually my favorite one. I feel like this is what we need more. It is nice to take our time now. I'm switching to the roll down. That is nice, but I don't know. So those are two versions. Here is the last version we're going to do. On this version, I'm going to bastardize this horribly. At least the second half I know is from gyrokinesis. I'm not going to worry about how we get up. Am I going to worry about how we get up? Yes, I am. We're going to roll up regularly. We're going to roll up vertebra by vertebra. When we hit the top, we're going to keep the chest lifted and we're going to let the butt start to sink. So we're going to, it's like we're rolling a wave. We're going to come all the way down and then roll back up, rolling up to the top, stay up and lifted, and then pelvis initiates to come back down. So you're rolling up, chest is staying up, butt starts to sink and drop. Now let's try this. We're just in the factory, laboratory, trying it all the different ways. This time we're going to think of sticking out the chest and then letting the butt lift. And then let's come back down, butt drops, and then chest drops. So there's different ways. I'm going to arch my back, keep the chest lifting, and that's going to pull the rest of me up. And then let's soften from the chest to go down this time. So I'm going to soften in the chest and take it down. Now we've done that a lot. Let's just roll side to side for a second because I want to teach one more version. Oh, so you're rolling from side to side as a recuperation from all that front back movement. Let this massage out your back. And if you feel like getting a little more flexibility going, stretch out through the middle. Think of radiating out, opening up, and then folding it back in. So we're opening, expanding, radiating out, and then folding in. Open, 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 fold it in. Good. And then we're going to come back for this last version. And this version I actually really like. So this has got a few extra steps. The first thing we're going to do is inhale and arch. So we're creating space underneath our spine. So my butt's on the floor, I'm arching my back. Then I'm going to exhale, curl, and we'll do this a few times in the same way. We're going to curl, roll it all the way up. Once we hit the top, we're going to inhale. I'm going to push with my legs so my chest comes to my chin. Then I'm going to exhale, pull, and roll down through my spine, vertebra by vertebra, all the way down to the floor. So I said there were like 3 ways of doing this. Of course, there's a million ways because I haven't taught you the Bartenia fundamentals way either. Taking your hands under your back so you have space. That's the arch. And then you flatten your spine out into the mat and then you curl and roll it all the way up. That's an exhale. You're going to inhale, chest to chin, push with your legs. Exhale, knees away from your head. Roll down through your spine all the way to the bottom. At the bottom, inhale and arch. And then exhale, flatten that out, curl, roll it all the way up. Inhale, push, chest to chin. Exhale, pull, knees away from you, roll it down all the way to the bottom, vertebra by vertebra. And now last one, we're big arch. Exhale, flatten that out, curl, roll it up. Inhale, push back. Exhale, pull forward, roll it all the way down through your spine into the floor. So we just did a whole bunch of different ways of getting that activity through the back body, movement through the spine, and warming up our back and our hamstrings. So let's release it, just shake it all out. Shake, 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 shake. Whew, let your body soften up. So as I'm shaking, I'm also kind of wagging my head and my tail. And then happy baby pose. Playing in the happy baby, letting your happy baby be happy and playful. And you can roll back and forth a little bit if you want there, or side to side. And then let's take our arms out to the sides, hands palm down to the floor. In this position, just push into the floor with your arms for a second. See if you can push into the floor with your arms and also stay connected through your chest. So you're not popping off, but you're connected. You're just activating with this isometric contraction. You're using the floor to create resistance. Push, 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 and release. 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 And then dropping your knees from side to side. Knees going one way. If your back feels good, turn your head away from your legs. If your back is hurting, turn your head in the same direction. This is massaging through your back. Yeah. I have been teaching that bar burn class on Thursdays and also teaching at the gym. So I'm doing a lot more external rotation and a lot more grand plies and stuff. And so my back always gets kind of tight when I'm doing more of that work. If you want to extend your legs all the way, go for it. Breathing into it, using the arms, pushing the floor away. Shoulders are wide. I feel like this, for me, is one of my like back health exercises that is most important. And then come in and shake it all out, let it go. I feel like we just need to roll over for a second. And we're going to do, since we're working with this spinal freedom idea, we are going to do a free flow with Theta Breath on all fours. So Theta Breath is a soft hiss. And what we're going to do is just free up our spine. So it's as if you have never been human before and you're just seeing what is possible in your spine with this. Probably my earbuds will take out the sound of the hiss. Sometimes I call this exercise the curious snake. It's just seeing what's possible. If the hiss feels stressful, don't do it. And then let it go. So we want to really work towards novel movement some of the time, right? We can do a lot of exercises where we're really specific, but we want to have times where we're working towards the unknown. What will happen if I do this? What will happen if I do this? How will it be if I go in here? So we're kind of allowing our own nervous system and the intelligence of our tissues and our cells and our fluidity to come online and go, okay, this would feel good. Oh, I need to do a little bit of this. So just allowing our systems to have some more freedom. All right, we're going to take it down. We're going to flip back over in a little while, but right now I want to do some stuff on our bellies. So we're going to take it all the way down. Bend your knees. Just for a second, before you do anything, think of wagging your tail very slowly and gently. Gentle, sultry tail wagging. And then easy, letting your legs fall from side to side, massaging out the front of your quads. And then you're going to curl your toes under, head on your hands, and just push up and down. So this is really soft, easy movement. Try to relax your abdominals, relax your belly, relax your face, soften, breathe. And then we're going to take one leg, bend it in, and grab on, drawing your heel towards your butt. If you don't feel a quad stretch here, you can lift your knee a little bit off the floor. If you are like relaxed, totally relaxed in your belly and your pubic bones popped up off the floor, you probably won't feel it. So you're gonna, not super, super tense, but just a little bit. Draw your pubic bone into the mat, then heel towards your butt. And then you're gonna just gently take your heel toward the outer hip and then in towards midline, taking it towards the outer edge and back towards midline. You will probably feel the stretch moving through different parts of your quads. And then come into center, kick that up and take the other arm and leg up off the floor. So you're in half bow. Radiate out, reach and open, breathe into it. and release it down. Just shake out your butt for a second, release your tail, soften your spine. So yeah, we want that flexibility in our back, then we got to soften the inner body. And then bend your knee, draw it in towards you. And I have to say, things can change so much. So all through like my 30s, I feel like my neck was, and I was seeing a chiropractor pretty regularly. Like I tend to get regular body work. And it seems that chiropractic is the one thing I can usually afford. Heel in towards your butt. But I felt like through my whole 30s and a good portion of my 40s, my neck was always a little bit cricked and lots of tension in my shoulders. And now I feel like that has shifted. I have so much more mobility in my neck. And this is the weird thing. I think it comes from doing shoulder mounts on pole, because we have so, like, you know, you're putting your weight into this whole area. And I think it's just broken up so much of the fascia that was just held in my upper back, neck, and shoulders. Now, I don't recommend this for most people. In lieu of a massage, that's what did it for me, I think. Reach it out and up. Breathe into it, and still having regular chiropractic work. And the one, like my neck is always getting cracked, but I want to have the freedom to be able to look around, move my head, breathe, and release. Arch up, open up, look up. And then take your tail back and soften. Melt into the floor. Breathing. Fluid inner body. Squishy, soft, juicy psoas. How do we get our body to do that? First, we think about it. We imagine it. We imagine this movement just hydrating the psoas, deep inner body. So psoas, like it's going from here to here, like inside our trochanter to our 12th thoracic. So it's, you know, it's a long muscle in there. And we want to think of it being, often I think, especially women are trying to think of things being smaller. Think of your psoas as being juicy and full, plump and like supportive. We don't want some skinny little twiggy thing. We want a expansive, robust, healthy psoas. All right, let's take it forward into a forearm plank. One knee to the floor at a time, parallel, touching down, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Crossing over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take it down. You're going to just do a little push-pull here. Think of opening up the front of the sternum, shoulders easy, arms connected to the floor, breathing. And then we're going to do this. This I actually learned from Irene Dowd, who is an anatomist. And of course, I'm probably going to change it, but the original learning was a long time ago. Drop your head, curl, roll it down, look towards your pubic bone. So I'm not bending my knees on purpose and popping my butt up. I am just letting that happen a little bit. Then I'm going to drop my pelvis, roll it down, pull through, and I'm going to lift my legs and look up. Dropping my legs, my head drops. I roll it down through my spine, looking toward my pubic bone. And then pelvis drops, rolling it up, pulling through, lift. Head drops, roll it down, push back, pelvis drops, roll it up, lift, head drops, push down, back, pelvis drops, forward, lift, head drops, down, back, pelvis drops, forward, and lift, and then take it back. Walk it back into your child's pose. And again, wiggle around. Let your head weight completely drop into the floor, shifting, wiggling, softening. Take a couple of big, deep breaths down into your belly. Letting that open up the space in your lower back. And then shifting your weight towards your heels and roll it all the way up. And we'll take it onto our sides. Coming down onto your, let's go all the way down. Coming all the way down onto your side, legs straight down below you. We're going to kick up, fold it in, reach it up, and come down. Up, fold it in, up, down. My knee is going towards my shoulder. In, up, down, up, in, up, down. And then rotating out both legs a little bit. Up, down, up, in, up, down, up, in, up, down. Last one. Up, in. You're going to stay there. You're going to turn that leg in and out. Going to the floor and up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8's enough. Take the leg down. Let's just do one more quick quad stretch here. So you're going to grab on. You can bend your bottom knee. Just take your leg back into space. Breathe into it. Opening. Think of the stretch coming all the way up into your ribs. Just imagine that. And then you're going to take your leg up to the side, grab on from the inside and draw it down towards you. So depending on your flexibility, you may be holding here, here, wherever. If you're super flexible, grab on and give it the big stretch. Breathing into it. And then release. Shake, 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 shake. Let it go. And just roll from side to side. Let that massage out your back. So soften the tissue, especially after we've stretched a lot. We want to really soften back into neutral where it's not overstretched. And you're going to flip around and take it to the other side. Coming all the way down. Kicking up. So my legs are turned out. I'm going to kick up, fold it in, reach it up, and come down. Often I do this and I kind of flex and point my foot, but I'm just staying pointed today. So it's really up to you. If you want to flex, you can flex it anytime, especially if your foot's crampy. In, up, down. Now I started doing it. I'm going to try and keep it pointed. Up, down. But either way, whatever works in your body. Down, up, in, up, down, up, in, up, down, up, in. This is like the quintessential, like, I feel like this particular exercise, like laying on your side and kicking up to the side, is like the quintessential, like, movie trope for exercise class, or I've seen it in a lot of dance performances when somebody gets down their sides. It's like, oh, there's the lady who lunches doing her, Pilates routine or whatever, taking her bar class, goes in. It just is it seems like such a trope to me. In and out. And here we are doing it because it's real. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. And release. Give it a little tap. And then quad stretch again. So in the quad stretch, I can take my heel right into my butt. I can do the turning in and out, or I can kick my leg back. Play around and move it a little bit. So you're not just static stretching, but you're letting a little, it could be tiny micro movement. Just letting that tissue again get more mobility. Feeling that stretch all the way through the front of your torso. Maybe feeling that stretch. And then you're going to release it, take the leg up, and grabbing from the inside of your leg, you can leave the bottom leg bent, or you can straighten it out. So it really depends on your flexibility. Breathing into it. Good, and release it. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, let it go. And then let's roll back and forth, rolling through your spine, letting it massage out. Take it into a plow or not. Listening to your own body. If you need to hang out somewhere a little longer, go for it. Yeah. So I have to say, I have overstretched my nerves before and it doesn't feel fun. It's like in my back of my body. This is one reason why we want to really make sure that when we're stretching or when we're working deeper, that we are very warm so that the tissue can adapt to what's happening. When you stretch your nerves, it's like you'll feel it. And it's not that painful. It is painful, but it's like you're just like, oh, wow. This is hurting in a different way. And you think, and you touch the tissue and it's like, oh, it's not the tissue. So if you feel that ever, you overstretched your nerves. It can happen. Let's open up into a straddle. Yeah, so I know that a lot of times, like in old school teaching of movement, like people would stretch before they warmed up at all. And if you're under a certain age, you can do that. But as you get older, you really want to get some hydration, some fluidity through the system, some warmth in the muscles. So you pump some blood through there before you do the stretching. All right, we're going to flex and arch and then point and curl. Flexing and arching from the inside to the outside. So I'm thinking of reaching out through my legs or reaching through my body, and then I'm pointing and hollowing and rounding. Inhale, inner body is stretching out. And exhale. And you can also lift from the back. So you can use your hands to help you get that length in your torso, hollow and curl. Inhale. I'm going deeper as I flex into the stretch, and then I'm kind of releasing it as I point. I'm coming back a little, softening on it. Inhale and open and exhale and point and give it a break. Jangle it in, easy and loose. I'm looking around for my coffee. And there it is, still half full. I got to put it up there in the warm area because it was on the floor. That's why it's not freezing. All right. So we're going to do another thing here. We're going to take this a little deeper. This is just for you, Medea. Flexing, arching, taking it down. And then you're going to point and hollow and curl and come up. Flexing through your feet. Reach out through your heels. Lift and open. Take it as far as you can go. And then soften and curl. Point your toes, roll it up. In the flex and the arch, I am much more open. And then I point and I curl and I let it come in a little bit. So it's like you're working this expansion, or sorry, yeah, extension, and then release. It's not extension, contraction, it's extension, release. So reach, 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 open, 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 take it as far as you can go, and then point and curl. So I'm using my hands a lot to help support my torso because I'm going pretty far forward. We're going to change the direction of this. We're going to go pointed, not in our most open position, taking it down, rounding our spine. Then we're going to reach out through our spine, reach out through our heels, and open up. So it comes in just a little bit as I point and curl, rolling down. And then I flex and reach and open, 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 open. Pointing, coming in, closing, narrowing slightly, rounding my spine, rolling it down. Flex it out, arch and open. And point and curl, roll it down. Reach, 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 flex and open and come in and soften your legs. Give them a bang, rotate in and out. Let the tissue come back to very soft and released. That's the other thing. When there's chronic tension in our tissue, there's a lack of flow. There's a lack of fluidity. So it's kind of unhealthy, not kind of, it's super unhealthy. Like we don't want to be holding everything. We want to have life force. The air can move through us. The energy of our life can move through us. We're not stuck in holding it. So we're just going to do one more release here on our backs. And you're going to open your feet wide. You can take your arms up in a V shape Just take a second to relax there. Maybe wiggle around, shake out your butt a little, relax your tongue. And then internally rotating one leg at a time. Yeah, so the fascia, like we're really three-dimensionally moving in this particular workout today, or work in or stretch, that we're getting the fascia to move in all these different directions, which is going to make it healthier and stronger. And I don't mean stronger, I mean more, more able to support our body, more able to support the fluidity moving through us. It is stronger, but it's not like muscle stronger. It's like fascia stronger. It's like the container is healthier because we've done all this three-dimensional work. And it's not even the container. It's like the lattice work and scaffolding that's moving through your whole body. And it's alive. Number one thing to think about our body, it's alive. So things can change and heal a ton. We aren't dead inside. Breathing into it. I have hooked one heel over, just taking it a little deeper. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And then come back into center. Pick up your butt. Just give it a shake. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. An inch or two off the floor. Try to relax your abdominals. Relax your ass. Relax your jaw, relax your neck and tongue. Shake it all out. And then release back down to the floor. Let's go back up one more time. So feet are kind of wide. They're just at least as wide as my shoulders and parallel. I'm going to press up as high as I can and then interlace my hands behind my butt. Walk my shoulders closer together. If you can't interlace, if you can't walk, that's fine. Even if you're here, that's fine. But if you can, go for it. From here, I'm going to exhale, knees towards each other. Inhale, knees open. So I'm going to roll to the inner edge of my foot and then to the outer edge of my foot. Exhale, closed. Inhale, open. Exhale, closed. Inhale, open. Pushing the floor away, getting that very three-dimensional movement through my quad, my IT band, and my hamstrings and my butt as I'm moving my legs in and out. Also, thinking of this at the level of the bones. So the bone is connecting to the muscle through the perifascia. That is the fascia that is connecting the bone to the muscle. And come in and release and roll it down. Soften, soften, soften. And we don't want it like all locked up. Again, we want this a little bit of mobility in there, a little bit of space for energy, movement, fluids to go through. And then taking your legs up, shake, 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 shake. Let it go, maybe make some noise. When I add sound, the vibration goes deeper, the breath becomes deeper. Yeah, it gives me more aliveness. All right. One last thing here, we're going to do circles with our legs. You can go as big or small as you want. You can leave your head on the floor. Listen into your own body. Think of really reaching through your legs. Yeah, so when we work like circles in our body like this, we are getting a lot of three-dimensional movement through the tissue. I'm going up, I'm going out, I'm going down and together. This is also hydrating my hip socket. Synovial fluid in the joints, greasing me up, keeping me lubricated. Last one. And then just open out and roll from side to side. Let this massage out your back. We've done a ton of inner thigh stretching. We've done a lot of spinal fluidity stuff. We've done some hamstring stuff. And then let's release that. Bring the legs together and just gently come up. And we're going to do a little bit of, end it with a little bit of hip stretching. You could also do this on your back. Yeah, feel free to take your time. If you're going at a slower pace than me, you can do that. And if you're in TV land going at a slower pace, you can always pause. There's this magical button, a pause button. Pause it, take some time. All right, I'm just gonna go with one ankle over the other. So I'm gonna inhale, lift, getting very long through my inner body, and exhale, taking it forward, softening and melting. Big breathing into my body, all the way down to my pelvis. Or imagine breathing all the way down to the soles of your feet. Every cell in your body breathing, deep cellular breathing. And then coming up, you're going to take your foot to the floor and just spiral, twisting toward that leg, lengthening through your spine, looking behind you. Look around, let your eyes move a little bit, see what's there. Relax your jaw. And then come around, just a quick counter stretch without changing your legs. Breathe into that. Yeah, it's awfully quiet here. I am sure the cats are all sleeping somewhere. That always kind of worries me, like, where are they? What are they doing? Draw your heel in towards your groin. So it's straight, I'm just turning a little bit. I am facing my leg. Inhale, up, exhale, fold forward. Breathe into it. Picture the muscle fibers getting longer. So listen to the inner dialogue. If you are telling yourself, oh my God, I'm so tight, then you will stay that way. So tell yourself, I'm letting go, I'm softening, I'm melting. Picture it opening up inside, creating space. And then coming up, we're going to open the arms out. You're going to go over the long leg. So side stretch over the straight leg, breathing into it. And then inhale, lift, taking your hand behind you, arch, and open up, breathe into it. Once I get back here, I'm working on that arch, but I'm looking around, seeing how it's going in my head and neck. And then circling around and coming back down and unscrambling. Give it a bang. Easy inner body, soften it all up. Ha. If people learned to regularly just shake out and release, we'd live in a different world. Anyway, this is the world we're in right now. Across the other leg, yeah, there you go. Other leg on top. Like if we started school, let's take some big breaths together. Let's come in, let's center ourselves. Let's socially center. Let's acknowledge that there are other people here and we actually all care about each other. Even if we don't, let's pretend we do. Inhale, lift. Exhale, take it forward and down. That's one thing when I studied in the Laban Institute. I mean, America is a very rugged individualism country, but when I studied in Laban, one of the main themes or one of the main ideas in there is this balance between the individual and the group. And I saw through the year in my course of study how my relationship with all these different people really changed and how people fit into different slots of who's who in the group. And then come up, foot on the floor, spiral. And so it's also group dynamics. If you ever study that, like there will be somebody who is going to be the scapegoat. There will be somebody who's going to step into leadership roles. I think a healthy group, those things can shift around, or you can start to have awareness within that stuff. But humans need other people. And then quick counter stretch the other way. And come back in. Yeah, we don't live in the world by ourselves. And bring your leg in, inhale, lift, and exhale. Take it down. The whole thing's interconnected, just like our bodies, integrated systems, integrated living processes. And when there's coherence, there's harmony and balance. There's health in the system. And then come up, open it out. You're going to go over your leg, side stretch. Breathe into it. Inner body longing towards the outer body softening with the inner body. Inhale up, take your hand down the floor, take it into your big solid gold dancer rock star position. Arch, look around if that feels good. See if you can arch more. And circle it and come back down and in. Bring both legs out, bang them, release. Again, come to that easy place. So if we can come to like a homeostasis where we keep coming back into a place where there's a sense of fluidity and flow, nothing's fighting each other inside. Can we find that homeostasis? Bring it in, feet underneath you, take your butt to the ceiling, open your feet wide, shift from side to side. Again, freeing up the spine, letting the organs move, freeing up the lungs, letting the arms hang, neck, head, and brain, easy. And then come in and roll it up all the way up to the top. Just feeling where you are in your body now. Inhale, open. Exhale, soften. Inhale, open. Exhale, smile into your whole body. Inhale. That's what we're doing as we reach the arms out. Look up to the heavens and exhale, come back in for a landing on the ground. One more time. Inhale, lift. And exhale, bounce ourselves down again, letting go of any extra stuff. It's like you're shaking off the stuff that you do not need. Excellent. All right, TV land, if you made it all the way through, excellent. Please like and subscribe, and please consider supporting me on my Patreon. Yeah, so I can continue this and not go and work at the Kmart. Just kidding. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I would prefer to keep teaching movement. All right, I am going to stop recording, which always takes me a few minutes.